Quick little melodic minor lesson. I like to look at everything in relation to scales in a diatonic way. I like to view all my scales laterally. As a guitar player, I think the best way to learn a scale is to learn it laterally. And I like to number all my intervals 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Right? So we do that. I think the best way of looking at that is you can either do that with solfege or you can do it with tonal numbers. And the beauty with solfege is they're all single syllables, right? So as I relate this to melodic minor, if I'm gonna look at this as the 1, so you might think that's weird, but the way I like to look at things is everything has the same tonal center. It's always gonna be viewed at a tonal center of 1 to 7, like 1 being your tonal center. But I don't rename things if I go to a minor key. If I go to a minor key, I'm gonna go, okay, well, 6 is my tonal center, but we're still in the key of G. And I still overlay the same tonal map over everything. I think that's a better way of doing things because it allows me to memorize one tonal map and make small alterations, if there are small alterations. So if I was to give you a specific example, if we were to play in melodic minor, what we would raise in a major, viewing it as major, would be you'd raise your 4 and your 5, right? But I like to view these in solfege. So so what we get is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And then when we do solfege, it's going to be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Right? So when you raise your 5 and your 4, or your 4 and your 5, instead of getting fa, you're going to get fi, which is a fret up. And instead of getting sol, you're going to get si. And the best way that I look at learning anything is if I look at this scale right now, I don't focus on parts of the scale that I already know. Like, so if I'm going like this, do, re, mi is still the same, right? And everyone knows do, re, mi. It's easy. It's just like a tone and a tone. But then if you went to 4, that's still major, right? But my idea is you isolate parts that you kind of don't know as well, and it's not that you completely ignore things you do know, you review them after you've isolated the part that you don't know, right? And then once I know the part of the scale that I'm more familiar with the area of the scale, right? So if we go to 4, we have our sharp 4, and then we have our sharp 5, and then we get 6. So when I see this pattern, it makes me think, well, I guess there's 2 of these in the scale, right? Because if I'm on my 6 right here, that's 6, 7, 1, or that's like la, ti, do. So if I go here, I'm like, oh, well, there's 2 of them. And that's the scale. So another good thing to do is to sing it. Do, re, mi, fi, si, la, ti, do. And when you sing that, it gets in your head, right? And you can really recognize it, like fa, sol, la, ti, do, fi, si, la, ti, do. They're different. They sound different. So I always like to focus on parts of the scale that I'll potentially mess up, right? So if I was doing quick, just like a major scale, everyone gets do, re, mi, right? And when they're always descending, people always mess up 3 to 4. So if I focus on 3 to 4 and 7 to 1, those are the 2 parts that have a semitone, right? And if I look at that in the sense of melodic minor, and I go back to melodic minor, it was what I was saying before. You're gonna have this tone to a semitone, which is really similar to the end of a major scale. how you have la, ti, do, then you have fa, si, la, la, ti, do, fa, si, la, ti, do. It's just one way of viewing things. And I even look, like when you're perceiving this or you're viewing it, you're always gonna just go, oh, it's just on la, right? And then if I kind of view everything on la, and I go, well, la's the minor tonal center, then do is the major tonal center. And I look at all of my modes like this. It might sound unconventional, but I promise you it's gonna help your ear a lot better, because you're not constantly going, oh, well, this is one, and that's one, and that's one, because then you're gonna make 7 different overlays of a tonal center. If you're even just doing diatonic modes, right? And you look at Dorian as 1, and then you look at Phrygian as 1, and Lydian as 1, and you do that constantly, you're gonna constantly just get different tonal centers over things. And you don't, like, your relation is like 7 different ways of looking at things, as opposed to I'm looking at everything as one single tonal center. And when I look at it as one single tonal center, then I just focus on different parts of the tonal center. I'll focus on the 3, or I'll focus on the 6, or I'll focus on the 7. And to me, that's a lot easier to improve my ear, because I can sing everything. And the reason that I look at melodic minor in a solfege sense is because I can sing Fi and I can sing Si, and it's a single syllable out of my mouth. So to me, that's easier, and I can still look at that and I still go, oh, that's a sharp 5, and that's like a sharp 4. To me, that's just easier. So I hope there was something that you got out of this lesson. I'm sure there's a lot that you got out of this lesson, but I hope everyone's having a great day, and yeah, take it easy. See ya.